Hello friends, today we want to talk about Excel, and suppose we have such a data given in column B. We have name, and in this name column we have to both the first name and the last name, and our task here is to separate the names into first name and last name respectively. Now for us to do this, we are going to use one of the Excel inbuilt function called mid. Mid is an Excel function which returns a string of characters within a certain range, given the first name and the length of this some of the conditions that we need to use. Now, to be brief, to get the first name from this column, we're gonna use a mid function. So I'll be able to write there mid. And then within this text, we are told the start number. We want to start from we want to return the first name. This means we are starting from one, the first letter from this. So that's one. And then the number of characters. How long is the first name? Because we cannot be able to move downwards counting each name. For example, here toy, you have three. Here you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And what I mean is that the first name and the last name might not have the same width or the same length. So there we're gonna use a find function. So we're gonna find space because these names are separated by a space. So I'm gonna find space within this text. This option is the last part is optional, so I'm gonna leave it. And probably that's the end of the question. So I'll hit enter, and immediately it extracts the word Britannia from this particular column. So I'm going to autofill this up to the bottom, and I've managed to extract this particular name from this. Now we move to the second column, column E, where we wanna get the last name from this particular column. So this is a bit tricky. So we're gonna use exactly the mid function. So I type mid of this. So the tricky part comes from where we want to start. For example, for the first name, we started by 1 because we are starting here. Now for the last name, we wanna consider this space because the last name starts immediately after the space. So for the first now, for the starting point, I'm gonna find space. I'll have a here space. So I'm gonna find space within this text. This one is optional, so I'm gonna leave it. And then after Excel finds this space, we don't want it to start immediately after the space, but when we find space, we move one space. So it's after space. That's why I'm gonna add here 1, so that when it finds space, it will move now 1 to start on W. So I'm gonna close this. Sorry. Now the number of characters. How many characters does the second word contain? Because we might not be able to count the number of the exact number, the maximum number of characters the longest name have. So I'm gonna use a len function, and a len function in Excel, it returns the size or the number of letters in a word. So I'm gonna return the len of this, and I'll close the brackets and click enter. So after doing this, you're gonna understand that the mid function, it found when I found space between these particular words, then I added 1. So Excel got this space and then immediately started from W. And then for this particular number of characters, I've returned the maximum number of characters that might be possible in this word, because this words will be varying in terms of characters and number of characters. That's why it will consider every number instead of putting here a constant number like 10, of which some other words may be having 15 or even 20 letters. So that's it. And then I'm gonna drag this up to the bottom, and immediately you see that This is the first name is Marile and the second name is given up to this. So that's how easy Excel is. You can use Excel mid function to extract both the first name, the last name, and even the middle name, depending on the number of character or depending on the number of words each name contains. I think this is helpful for those guys who have a huge number of data and they want to extract each number, each name, maybe in the first and second columns, respectively, first name, second name, last name, something of the sort. I think this will be helpful. If you find this helpful, kindly subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon so that as I post the next video, you'll be able to be the first one to get notified. Thank you for watching.